So I'm going to switch over to my slides now and just talk about some of the benefits. Robbie and I kind of want to go into some of the benefits, kind of more from a user point of view. Mina did a great job of covering some of the business benefits and some of the bright reception that these apps have gotten. But I really think that for customers, what this does is it streamlines work by integrating line of business apps into the collaborative tools. If you've ever copied and pasted things between your collaboration tool and your business applications where you live every day, if you've wished that you had collaboration in your line of business tools, or if you've kind of gone to use an application and it gives you yet another chat scheme that you have to check every day, that you have to learn, users all have to figure it out. It may or may not be compliant. Teams apps can bring those things together in a really important way. And I'd like to show you some examples of this, and Rabia will as well, basically based on some of the features of Teams that you can make use of inside of your application. First is messaging extensions, using adaptive cards, then tabs that run in group environments like channels and chats, meeting extensions, personal apps, and then finally bots using adaptive cards. So it turns out these are the 5 criteria for what they call a quality app. If you want to take advantage of that ISV success program that Mina just mentioned, and I think Masako is going to probably talk about it a little bit more during the panel discussion, you have to have 2 out of the 5 of these scenarios. So let's just show them to you really quickly. So the first one that I'll show is a messaging extension. And this is a scenario around an HR recruiting team. And we've just interviewed a great candidate. And I'm logged in as Katie here. She wants everyone to send their feedback about this candidate. So rather than sort of looking up the name in an HR system, and then everybody has to go into that HR system to give their feedback, we're going to be able to pull that up directly from Microsoft Teams, from the Teams application while she's typing. And so now that drops an adaptive card into the chat where people can take action directly within the chat. So here I am on my mobile phone and I'm running around to different clients, and I know that this hiring situation is important. I can go into that team channel and there's the adaptive card. And I don't have to go look up Donna in some other application. I could schedule a follow-up interview from here, or I could do what I was asked to do and actually leave a comment. I'm just going to use the phone's built-in text-to-speech, or speech-to-text, excuse me, to do that. And all of a sudden, we're good with the feedback. And I didn't have to go back to the office, remember to do it, go into the HR app, look up Donna, and then give the feedback. I was able to do it right there where I was.
It's great how Teams app can work on mobile. You're showing mobile here, Bob, and users can access them on the go.
Yeah, it's a big advantage that your Teams apps can work really anywhere that the user is working. So that's a really good point. So the next example that I'll show is of a configurable tab. So we're here in a group environment with this solution. And what all this does is it shows kind of a heat map of incidents that are going on a campus. And so this is a simple enough map, but notice that because it's configurable, I can change the settings of the map. And this gets changed then for every user in the team. So the result of this is that users don't need to learn how to set this up. It can be set up by the team owner, and then everyone can share their information. So I'm just going to add another point here on the map. And there you go. So you can even bring chat into it so that the team can chat while they're using the app. And the Teams channel will even have a link in it letting people know about the tab to draw them into your application.
Nice. I love how the settings and the data shown in this config tab is for the entire team. Like it's managed by someone, or individual users have to worry about it.
Exactly. So if you've ever been given a new app and somebody sends you a list of instructions
Mhm.
on how to set it up for yourself, right here, the team owner can do that and set the settings that are most relevant for his or her team. And individual members just use the tab, just click on the tab. So much simpler.
Great.
So next up, we've got a meeting app, which Robbie is going to show to everyone.
Yes. So this is a meeting app, and the capability name is pretty straightforward. It brings your app in a meeting experience. Now, let me share some context or a bit of a story around this app. It's called Who's Next, before I run the demo. So imagine this classic scenario of a stand-up meeting where everybody, like 10 people in the room, is looking at each other to see who's going to speak next. So it helps, if there was an app to pick the next speaker. So to make this 30-minute work meeting more about work update and less about picking who goes next, Bob and I actually built this app, Who's Next, during Hack Week upon request from my teammates. And I'll be very honest with you, it has been a success so far. So let me show you the demo. So as you can see here, I'm on mobile and I'm in a call with my colleagues. I can open up the menu and I already have installed Who's Next app, and I can just bring that out. And the experience here is you can see this UI. Everybody in the call can see this UI. And we've kept it fairly simple. So you can add the speaker names. Everybody can add their own names, or someone can add it for them. And as you can see, I'm adding all three people here, and it's Horse's turn. You can also remove someone in case someone ends the meeting quickly or has a sore throat, maybe. So you can just go ahead and remove as well. So kept it super simple. Now in this, there is a button Who's Next, and right at the bottom, if you click on that, it will pick the next person. This has been super useful for us. Like you give your updates on your task, and then you click Who's Next, and then you know exactly who's going to speak next. So that's the demo for the meeting app.
That's really great. And yeah, it really is fun to use that. An interesting thing for people to note is that this is not screen sharing, right?
Yeah.
You weren't sharing your screen at all, right? The app was actually synchronizing all those different views using the Fluid framework, I believe, right?
Exactly. So we built this, and you can find the source code as well. So anybody can go ahead and try out this application. We'll put that in the chat. Right, so moving on to the next demo. It's One Productivity Hub. And again, this is a personal tab in Teams developed by one of our colleagues, Aitubash. So this, like I said, it's a personal tab. It's your personal information. Everything that you need for your workday will be right here. And this has three sections. We have the calendar event, so it shows my upcoming meetings so I can plan for it. There is a to-do task section. You can add your tasks, and in case you want to complete something, you can go ahead and complete that as well. And my personal favorite in this section is files, because I'm always looking for documents that I've been working on. This finds everything for me. And it is powered by Microsoft Graph. So this is a very useful scenario of bringing everything you're working on into your personal space.
Wow, that's great. And I love that this is a really good choice for a personal tab because it shows that personal tabs are really personal. So all that information is personal to you, right?
Exactly.
And
And
so if there was, yeah, if there was business data, right, that would also, if somebody was building an app, they would want to put personal data for each user into that kind of personal tab.
That's right. That's right. And we can find the sample code as well. Again, in the chat, we will be putting the links in it. And I guess, Bob, you have more stuff to show?
Absolutely. So this next sample is a bot with an adaptive cart, which is the final one of these 5 scenarios that we wanted to show. And before we get into the actual labs, the scenario here is that we're a consulting group, and I know there's probably a few consultants in the audience out there, typically, and we need to add somebody new to the project. So normally this would result in a flurry of emails and in order to try to get the person in the group and get them onboarded. Here we have a bot that helps to do that. So I actually have to mention the bot because I'm in a group scenario, and we don't want the bot to overhear things people are just saying amongst themselves. So I mentioned the bot and I said, add Alice to the Contoso project. And what comes up is another adaptive card, but this is more like a little form that I can fill out. And wherever there's an ambiguity, it's actually giving me choices. And I can fill this out. And of course, to go back and forth with a bot, one question at a time would be rather cumbersome anyway. But the nice thing is that when the work is complete, what we get is a summary card of that the work was completed. So I'm sorry that flashed by rather quickly, but that has the advantage that people will know that Alice is joining the project.
Nice. I can see that this interaction is so simplified in this form, but it could easily take 100 emails.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's the summary card that I mentioned. And that's what people would see is they would just say, go into the team where everyone's already working and just say, oh, look, a new project assignment. We got Alice on the team. That's great.